Hello everyone, in this short lesson I'd like to talk about how to accomplish tasks when you need to match your dynamics into real footage. In this case, we have a character which jumps into the pool, and CG layers should affect accordingly, and just needs to spread aside. Um, it was quite an interesting task, and let me actually show you how I managed to do it. So it's uh, it's quite simple setup. I mean, I would say it's not very complicated. A lot of preparation usually takes place. So here I have the text that I've been given, and they already have a mesh move, everything. So um, my job was just to add the dynamics. But before, they asked me to put the letters so that you could read it properly. So here I have them uh, properly placed, and it was approved. Then I convert them to pack primitives. Next, I'm creating some forces for the next step, and here I'm bounding all my text, and here I have the surface by transforming it and um, subtract it uh, from itself with a transform. This way I have my normals, which I will use as the force during the next steps. Here I'm also adding some color uh, attributes. So here I have a point with transform. Let me just activate. So I placed it somewhere here just to affect my normals, and by um, uh, by using a near point, importing this position attribute of the point and subtracting from the base geometry, I'm calculating the lengths which I uh, fitted, so I could use by adding some ramp parameters. And here are what I have. Here's my ramp, which I will use as a multiplier to affect my normals. Uh, Here I'm adding some noise to my normals, so if I just, you see, um, and then I multiply my color value to my normals, and this way I have a sort of yeah, a ramp force. Then I convert my normals to velocity attribute, which I will use later during this simulation. Okay. Um, um, Here I'm also creating a spreading force, so I could also add them just to let those layers just split apart, and also some noise and gradient. This is force number 2. Okay, next one is the pool itself. So I have the pool, and I'm doing some manipulation. Here I have added the top of the pool myself, and blasting the rest. Um, which I will use as the collision later. Here, by combining, I'm having some collision geometry. Next, I'm doing a setup for my ripple. Here I have the remesh, and this is the rest geometry, and here I'm adding a point to the place where character actually jumps to the water, attached to the water, where the big splash happens. And here I have I'm also using near point and importing positional attribute, subtracting lengths. Here I'm using this just the color as a visual guide. So again, I'm using fit just to kind of limit my ramp, and adding some multiplication and adding this to the position, which I use as a position. So, and here what I have a kind of small force happening, which I use in my first dynamics. So here I have the ripple object, and I'm importing those attributes and putting use deforming rest. So adding those information will help me just to have the ripple in the exact place where I want. So here I am doing some manipulation just to get what I want, the needed result. So if you see, here is my ripple. So if we look from the camera, where is the character actually? Yeah. So wireframe won't be visible. So yeah, this is a moment of contact. Then I smooth my mesh, and also add some mountain animated noise just to have those effects on top of each other. This way I have some motion, water motion, and the ripple effect. Next, I'm calculating velocity of the mesh, and adding some velocity also by using noise, which I will also use to affect my letters later. Then I did some preparation in case I need it. Here I turn it into VDB, my water surface that I wanted actually to use as a collision, but I think I didn't use it as a collision because it takes too much time to actually to calculate all of that. So you'll see how I actually avoid, and I could find another solution for that. So yeah, and alright, so here's a pool collision, and here's some bounding box. Next, this ocean spectrum I didn't use, so okay, and so here I have my letters. Just let me see what I have it. Okay, so the next step of preparation, what I used my water surface, and I actually um, I used the ray node just to have them attached onto the surface, and a little transform, and here's the output for the dynamics. Uh, for the collision, I use the static object C2 and simple C. So if we have a look, so C2, it's a simple geometry surface of my border surface, and this one is the uh, pull collision. So I could hold my letters not to go on the side of the pull. And this is the decision that I actually made. I used the simple flat surface as a collision instead of using this complex geometry. Yeah, and which was actually really fast and no problem actually. I, I had was this, and now here's some I'm using a multi-solver with the subsolver. I'm actually transferring um, my F2 force, which was to spread the letters apart, um, and yeah. Um, Here I'm using the point cloud open and using normals with multiplication and adding it to position. It may be not the correct way, but it worked for me, and I decided to leave it as it is. So here I'm adding some forces to my rigid body by using pop nodes. Here I'm using F force, which was actually this um, pushing them upwards. Also, speaking about actually this one, what uh, what's actually happening, I'm adding a small value of those normals to the position. This way I'm creating the illusion of not the illusion, but actually I'm moving my particles sideways without using any dynamics, so um, they will keep moving, and uh, also this ramp will also have its effect, so they will stop because the normals will be zero at this point. Okay, so continuing from F force, I'm also using point cloud open. I'm using normals with some multiplication, and adding it to the force. Adding it to the force, not velocity, because I needed actually only like a one big force value just to affect it. Um, yeah, some drag, some spinning. Here I use uh, the length of the velocity as the spinning multiplier. Okay, and some drag values. And here I have the result. Okay, so I have my and as you see that I used this flat surface as the water surface. You see them just simple sliding to the sides, and also by using this force 2 which was normals that I used to spread them apart, and they are slowly stopping by reaching that area where normals actually um, turn to zero, and they have no effect here. So I'm using a time shift like for just to complete like beginning and the simulation. And the next here, let's start from here. Here I'm using the color, and it's the same actually procedure. I'm using near point with imported position attribute, subtracting length, fit, and it goes into color. Here I'm using ray, a node again, which actually was the that I'm having here those just sliding letters, and by using ray node I'm attaching it to the surface, and this way I have those as you see. This way I actually escape those long time simulations by using this method. So you see we have onto the surface dynamics and letters are moving, which is fine. And here I'm using this ramp just to have a slight mix of both uh, effects, which I want them just to stop that bouncing into the water and just simply calm down. Or I think it was in reverse. So they just slide, and in the end they just starting to float more onto the surface. Then converting my letters back to normal geometry, normals, and here I have it down. And also I'm having prepared my water surface for the rendering and compositing. So I have here two main geometries that I need, and yeah. Next thing, you would like to render it separately and add some materials, lights, which wasn't my task. So um, mainly the dynamics, but usually when I do the project from start to finish, I split it into separate parts to have a possibility for the next compositing um, workflow. Well, well, I hope you liked the lesson and information was useful. And also, I would like to thank you all for helping me to promote this channel. And there will be more useful information and maybe some um, Q&A sessions also. Um, yeah, and thank you once again, and goodbye.